Welcome back to your favorite sports podcast. Just Below Average is back this week. We've had a fun-filled last weekend going into this week. We want to get this out a little bit early so we can talk about the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 coming up this weekend. We're going to talk about the round of 64 and 32, the NFL head coach and GM meeting, Kentucky situation that's going on right now, and possibly some weekend picks. This episode is brought to you by Way Good. Davis is on a fast track to a six-pack by the end of the summer. He's going to make it happen with Way Good and their delicious sticks of frozen ice. Can't wait to see him have it happen. All right, let's go. All right, fellas. What a weekend. A weekend filled with upsets, stuff we didn't predict happening. Let's talk about the round of 64 real quick. So I guess we can go region by region. FAU Northwestern. We can say that two of the three of us were wrong in this group.
You guys doubted my boy Boo Booey. That's all I've got to say.
Northwestern takes down FAU 77-65. I thought FAU might go on a little bit more of a good first game, a good run to get to UConn. They did not.
Closed it out. They closed it out pretty good.
They did. They did. Lose by 12, but, then their coach ends up, 2 days, 3-4 days later going to Michigan now.
And lose the game, lose the coach. That's tough.
Yeah. So his head and foot was out the door before probably the game ever started, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so will we ever hear of FAU again for the next 20 years?
Probably not.
No, probably not. No.
Fair.
Last year was their run.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll bookmark that. So we will not hear of FAU for the next 20 years.
No.
Okay.
No. We got Yale beating Auburn by 2. I was wrong about this. I had Auburn going all the way to the Sweet 16. They did not. Bruce Pearl probably I don't know what he's going to do. I'm sure he's staying there, but I can't imagine him taking another job. But
see, Auburn. What's funny about that is I was huge on Auburn during this tournament, and if you can remember, one of my coaches that I would have liked to see replace Cal if that were to happen was Bruce Pearl. And then he goes and does this, and now I'm just like, Bruce, you're no longer on the top of my list.
Correct.
Well, I completely shit on the whole Ivy League. I said they were terrible, which apparently not. Apparently the SEC is terrible.
The SEC is bad.
So
they had a bad outing.
On this Bruce Pearl talk, put Kentucky in this scenario. If they win the SEC title and lose first round like they did, are you guys happy as Kentucky fans? We won the SEC championship. It matters again, apparently.
No, because we would have still got beat by Oakland.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Cal just can't win for losing.
No.
Well, no, I wouldn't say I'm probably a little bit more happy because we won some games in March. We didn't make it past the first round again. Kind of sucks, but you can back it by saying we won the SEC tournament whenever I said it didn't matter, But I think Auburn had a little bit more to play for too, because if they don't win the SEC tournament, are they the top 4 seed in the bracket? This bracket, the East bracket, like we talked about last week, is tough. But if they don't win the SEC tournament, are they the top 4 seed?
So what you're saying is they should have got a worse seed, and maybe they got an easier matchup.
Probably, yes.
Fair.
Because I still don't think this bracket does UConn any favors. I really don't. I don't think it does them any favors at all. So,
I don't know how to feel about that. At first glance, it doesn't look like it did, but now looking at it, it's not too difficult to see how they got to where they are.
Right. Duquesne beats BYU. We all called that one, I think, except for Davis. I don't think you called that one.
Yes, I kept a receipt on this game, so taking notes for next year. Will not pick a team that has 70% white guys. White dudes can't ball.
White dudes that don't have sex probably can't ball.
Yeah, Mormons, baby.
Yeah, can't have that.
Well, no, Zach Wilson's in this category, so your statement's invalid. Maybe he's just a pimp.
Yeah, he went to New York and acted up. So And then the MVC sucks. Missouri Valley sucks. They lose to Washington State by 5. Drake loses to Washington State by 5.
This is my fault. I picked Drake. They were in my Sweet 16. I remember watching this game. I couldn't stay up. I fell asleep. I was tired. I went to sleep on my guys. I wasn't there for them. This one's on me. So took this one on the chin. Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're back. We're not back next year and Murray's in, but we'll see. But the MVC is just not as good as everybody thought they were. So Iowa State wins pretty handedly. Move on to the West. Michigan State beats Mississippi State. I thought Mississippi State would run them, but they got ran.
So that is my my bad. Well, actually, I have 2 of them. Bad calls was Mississippi State making a run, beating Mississippi State making a run, beating Michigan State and North Carolina.
Yeah, I also had that prediction, so I'm right there with you. This was ugly. So I said last week, players play, coaches coach, players make the coach. Yeah, bad, really bad. You gotta have a coach. I was with my dad that afternoon. I kind of mentioned that to him, and he was really disappointed in me. I wasn't raised like that, so I got put in my place. I was humbled.
So yeah, that one's a bad call on my part.
Well, that's why we're called just below average, because we have just below average takes.
That was very below average. And then next, this one's an upset.
Grand Canyon versus St. Mary's.
But I also had St. Mary's going pretty far.
I called Grand Canyon, and for one reason and one reason only, women's coach is hot. That's all I got.
Yeah. I don't remember why I picked Grand Canyon, but I remember picking Grand Canyon. I believe Chris did not pick Grand Canyon, and the coin decided Grand Canyon, so they were destined to win.
The coin, I think, was like 4 for 4, wasn't it?
It did pretty well. It picked Michigan State and Grand Canyon as we're going through here, so we're 2 for 2 so far that I remember.
Yeah. And then Clemson, New Mexico. Richard Pitino's team did not perform. They got 21 tapped. I guess I don't know if the city wasn't behind them anymore or what was going on, or if they had heard rumors that he was getting looked at for the Louisville job, which is hysterical. But they got that ass beat pretty handedly too.
Yeah, they didn't show up.
Finished out the West, Dayton, Nevada. Not really an upset, but I think we called Nevada on this, didn't we?
I know I picked Nevada on this one.
Yeah,
that was against my better judgment.
And then Chris told us that we were wrong and Dayton should have been picked because they're a very good scoring offense, and they showed that.
Nevada did blow this game, though. They did have a large lead.
Right. Yeah. So didn't they go like 0 for – they didn't hit a shot for like the last 6 minutes of the game?
It was bad.
Yeah. It was something like that. Go to the South bracket. This is where I'm going to throw up. Texas A&M and Nebraska. Texas A&M comes out on top. 15. Looked good.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. Honestly, that game was really never close. I feel like. I think Nebraska came out right off the jump, and then as soon as that spark hit, Texas A&M absolutely put the foot on their throats.
Well, then round of 32, they go to overtime with Houston and lose by 5. I was very impressed. I think the 3-piece suit really works for them. I can't shit on it anymore.
Yeah. No. I knew that they would. I'm a big fan of Buzz Williams.
He's a good coach.
Yeah, I like him.
Just without the 3-piece suit, but I can't say anything about it.
Not yet. You got to shut up.
Yeah, I'll shut up. And then JMU versus Wisconsin. JMU comes out on top. They played like dogs the entire game. I'm talking I hadn't seen a team lock up like that in a tournament game in a long time, and I'm talking they were on the floor for 50-50 balls. They thought it was their championship, and I loved it. It was awesome.
I thought we were watching a Final Four team. It was insane.
They played really, really good, and I think when they got to Duke the next round, they just kind of ran out of gas, but it was really good. Poor
Wisconsin, horrible matchup. They did not match up well against that team.
No.
Well, I just think they stink anyway. They played very shoddy basketball throughout the season. They were good for a week, and then they were horrible for 3. Like, I don't know how they got a 5, just maybe by quad 1 wins, but other than that, they weren't that good.
Yeah, well, you're destined to get a 12, beat a 5 seed, and this year we were blessed with 2 of them.
Correct. NC State and Texas Tech, I was wrong. DJ Burns is the man, and
I was also wrong.
he needs to go to the Elite Eight. This might be the miracle run for this year, like FAU was last year. I know it's not a playing game, but I think NC State is in the Final Four.
I don't know. I'm still pretty big on Houston, but
Correct.
If it's not Houston, I'd like to see NC State.
DJ Burns is just a big man.
He's a big dude.
Oh, he's huge.
Big dude.
He's everything Zion wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat.
And he owns vending machines.
Drinks beer. Eats burgers.
Did you see what CBS did to him? I think it was after this game. Did you see what they did to him?
Gave him ice cream.
They brought it to him after the game and tried to bring him ice cream, and he was like, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
They tried to get him. They really did. Try to catch him up, and that just wasn't happening.
I bet I could get abs for DJ Burns.
I don't know. And then Kentucky loses by 4 to Oakland.
Yeah, we're just not going to talk about that one.
Yeah, I just shut the lights out.
I'm only kidding.
Okay.
Colorado beats Florida 102 to 100.
Are we not going to elaborate on the Kentucky-Oakland game?
We'll get there at the Kentucky situation later.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just kidding when I said we weren't.
No, I wasn't. We're going to go next. We're going to go the next. We will talk about it in a little while. Colorado beats Florida. I know a lot of people pick Colorado, but I at least thought Florida would win the first matchup and then lose to Marquette.
Well, them having that injury
really hurt.
Yeah, it hurt them. Colorado played pretty well.
Right.
Yeah, they had a few guys hit some really big shots too. So,
yeah.
Correct. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. Marquette, Western Kentucky, 87-69. Western Kentucky was up in the first half. That's all I'm saying.
I ain't gonna lie. They had them in the first half.
Yeah.
They did. And I was nervous. I was like, oh, we shit on WKU, and they're coming out here playing like this. So, congrats, WKU, though. Way to play a half of basketball. Way to play a half.
Chandler wasn't too happy about that one. He sent some pretty strong words.
Well, they played a great first half of basketball, so congratulations on the first half of basketball. You guys did great.
Back to the hill.
Correct. And then I was wrong. We go to the Midwest. I was wrong about McNeese. Gonzaga blew them out.
Yeah.
Will Wade, you suck. And that's why you're not going to get another job.
I would like to ask you guys if you remember what I said about the Zags.
Sweet 16 bound no matter what.
Okay. I know ball.
Kansas and Samford, you also knew ball about this one because I picked Samford in this, and they beat them and then lose to Gonzaga in the round of 32.
Yeah,
the ending of that was somewhat controversial.
Yeah, that was a block. I will admit. I picked Kansas. That was a block. A bad call. But yeah, this was the sexiest upset probably, I believe, in the country, and you just can't go with those. You can't go against can't go with the crowd. Vegas has got to win their money back.
Vegas called, and that was it. Oregon, South Carolina. Oregon 87, South Carolina 73. The SEC sucks.
Yeah.
We should not have put faith in South Carolina, but we did.
I did not put faith in South Carolina simply because I picked so many SEC teams to win. I told you guys that somebody had to lose. I didn't know everybody was going to lose.
Yeah. And that kind of rounds out the round of 64. As far as the round of 32, I mean, I don't think there were any really big upsets.
Pretty much all the favorites won.
Oh, Clemson beat Baylor. That's the one I was looking for. Yeah.
That was a big one. I was pretty strong on Baylor, but they look like they ran out of gas.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if it was the altitude change or what, but something got to them. So
yeah, I don't know. And then of course Gonzaga beat Kansas.
Yeah.
But in this round of
the hell, Kansas,
I'll say out of the round of 32. Purdue looks scary good.
Honestly, Alabama looks really good to me. I don't know why.
Really, yeah.
I don't know how North Carolina matches up with them. Dude, it's going to be this Sweet 16 is going to be a really good one, in my opinion. I just don't know how Alabama and North Carolina are going to match up. I've got where's it at? I have it pulled up right here too. They're the third best game of the Sweet 16, and I don't know. I don't know how it's going to do. I think it's going to be a score fest, though. I think it's going to be one of those where they're just running.
Yeah, it'll be high scoring.
So, but after that, we don't really have much. I mean, there's not much to talk about on the round of 32. The teams that were supposed to win won, I think, besides, the Clemson game. But we shall see. So, anything else from last weekend?
No.
My bracket sucks. That's really it. Like, I'm tired of doing this every year.
We looked awesome on our just below average bracket. We looked so good until Kentucky played. And then once Kentucky lost, Friday came and we shit the bed.
It's all Kentucky's fault.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a little bit, though. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. Sweet 16 matchups. So we'll start with not the worst game, but the eighth best game of the day, starting or the weekend. Marquette, NC State. Friday night. NC State's the worst seeded team coming into the bracket. This is probably an underdog pick that I'll put a little bit of money on, though. But Marquette did not play well the first game of the tournament, so that's a one you could sprinkle on for a little bit of money if they do upset them.
Yeah, I like that. If we're gonna have I guess if you want to call them a Cinderella, that's gonna be it.
I
guess they are the Cinderella. So
yeah. I don't mind that either because Marquette kind of struggled against Colorado as well. They kind of got down to a nail biter. I had a big $95 bet on the line with them. Had a nice parlay hit, but I don't know. I think Marquette wins it. I think NC State finally dies. Or did.
We thought that in the first round, and they didn't. So I'm sprinkling it. I mean, I'm not going to put a shit ton of money on it, but I'm going to sprinkle NC State money line probably.
Yeah. So, I'm probably with Davis. I think Marquette can win it. NC State's gas right now. I'd like to see NC State win it, but I'd probably take Marquette.
All right. UConn, San Diego State, Thursday night. I think UConn takes this by like 12. I don't know what the spread is. Let me look while y'all put your opinion in there. But I think UConn takes this by like 12.
I think it's probably about I'm going to say either 11. It's 11 and a half.
It's got to be. I haven't looked at KenPom this week, but all the matchups already came out. So they already have them on FanDuel and stuff like that. So
it's got a pretty... I assume it'd be a fairly low over-under.
I would probably pick UConn by...
It is
not 10 spread. 10.5. I've got UConn by... I'm going to go 18. I think they're going to blow them out, but I probably will pick San Diego State to beat them on the sports book just because it would probably pay nicely.
It is plus 490.
This is a revenge game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a payback game, yeah. So that would be fun. I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be fun.
The only thing that makes me hold on to San Diego State is their defense. They're defensively sound.
UConn's offense is unbelievable right now.
UConn's solid.
Dan Hurley's over here telling them basically keep kicking them while they're down and keep going and win this thing.
Yeah.
Next, Arizona Clemson Thursday night as well. Arizona is a 7.5-point favorite.
I may not even watch that game.
Yeah,
that's like the one I don't want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever watched Arizona play.
Okay,
they've had some solid years when they had DeAndre Ayton, and they've had a few good teams. And they're pretty solid this year, but I have no desire to watch that game whatsoever.
Is that where Alex Lynn went to school? Wasn't he like the number one overall pick? Or did I make that up?
I don't know.
Gotta fact check it.
Yeah, but
Google
Caleb Love is really good.
Yeah, he is. But Clemson, I kind of like their story. They've got something to play for.
No, I was way off. He went to Maryland.
Trevor's favorite team, baby.
Yeah, I should have known that one.
You should
What am I
have.
thinking of?
DeAndre Ayton?
No, a good white guy went through there.
Well, I don't know.
That doesn't narrow it down very much.
That doesn't narrow it down.
A tall white guy.
That also doesn't narrow it down much for me. Kyle Wilcher
Kyle Wilcher.
from Kentucky. Didn't he go to Arizona after he transferred? Or
No.
graduated?
No, he went to
Gonzaga.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say
he did go
Gonzaga,
to
but
Gonzaga.
I didn't want to be wrong.
Okay, similar colors. What do you want me to
Okay,
do?
I don't know who the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't know if this person exists.
Probably not.
I
Purdue, Gonzaga.
don't know if I've seen Arizona play. So
Purdue, Gonzaga.
Purdue's gonna continue to roll. I wasn't too high on them going into this tournament. I figured it'd be just repeats of the previous years, but I think they look extremely good. And I don't think anybody beats them.
Let's play guess the line on this game.
They'll all be somewhat tight. I'd say it's going to be probably 8 or 9.
Purdue,
Yeah.
Davis.
yeah, I got 12.
Purdue is -5.5.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be very high.
I'm probably gonna take that. Yeah, I think Purdue wins this. They're kind of scary, especially with the refs riding Zach Edey.
Yeah.
But they don't give that to DJ Burns, which is unacceptable.
They love fat boys.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, they give a lot to Zach Edey.
We are a dad bod community, and they better start giving it to.
Speak for yourself.
You are a dad.
Yeah,
so
speak for yourself, buddy.
You don't have a six pack yet.
We're
I've
six
lost
packs
100 pounds.
there.
Y'all can't tell me nothing. All right, nothing. Then I've got Tennessee and Creighton. I think this is going to be the game of the week of the Sweet 16.
Oh yeah,
I think
because
it's gonna be a very good game.
I'm huge on Creighton. I was going into this.
I can see this game being a bummer. This is the game I'm most excited for, but typically I feel like when that happens, the game always sucks. So I'm really hoping that's not the case.
Trevor, what's your pick for the line?
It'll be another close one.
1.5.
I'd probably say 3.5.
Tennessee 2.5. Yeah, we're close.
We're all around it.
All around it.
Next, North Carolina, Alabama. This is my probably second favorite game of the weekend.
I like this one. Like you said, this one will be high scoring.
Yeah, the over-under on it is 173.5.
Gosh.
Yeah.
But the over is -105. The under is -115. -115. So 4.5 point favorites in UNC. I think Alabama at least covers that.
I would really like to see Alabama win this one. I don't want to see North Carolina win.
I think Alabama either wins outright or North Carolina covers that spread.
We will see.
What did you say the spread was?
4.5.
4.5. Alabama money line. And the over. I've gotten addicted to betting the overs. I just started that last week.
Oh yeah, overs only.
It's so fun.
Overs only.
Yeah. Maybe I need to rephrase what I said because obviously one of those is going to happen.
That's why I gave that look because I was like, wait a second. All right, Trevor.
No, I meant Alabama either covers that. Hell, I don't know what I was
or
saying.
UNC blows it out.
Yeah, there you go. I'm on about 10%. So yeah.
Got you. Iowa State, Illinois.
Fighting Illini.
Dude, this is another good game. Which one is that?
It's Penny.
Miss Penny loves to be on camera, boy.
How many cats do you have?
We got 2.
Oh, okay. It's not
Willie's
bad.
big ass would take up this whole desk if he got up here. Boy's built like Garfield. Iowa State, Illinois.
This will be another good one.
This is gonna be a high-powered offense versus a high-powered defense.
Yeah. I think you got a guard that's averaging almost 24 points.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State's their top score is averaging like 14.
Yeah, but don't they have like all 5 of their starters average between 10 and 15?
Yeah. So it'll be an interesting game. I'd say Iowa State comes out and wins this one, although I have Illinois going pretty far.
I don't think that any of the sports books know because it's a Iowa State 1.5 point favorite. Iowa State is minus 125 to win or money line, and then Illinois is plus 104, and then the over under is 145.5.
I bet
that have a clue.
That spread will be even by game time.
Yeah.
It opened at 2.5.
I would probably go Iowa State with this game.
Yeah.
I don't really have a reason why, but I would.
Iowa State's playing really well too right now.
Mm-hmm.
If Illinois can't come out and hit shots, it's just not going to be pretty. So, and then the last, I think the top game is what they're saying of the Sweet 16 is Houston versus Duke, 1 and 4 seed. I think Duke covers a 4.5 point spread because that's what it's set at right now.
I bet somebody at work it was going to be Houston will beat them by 6. So I'm going to stick with that and go with Houston. And Houston covers.
I think I'm going to go with Houston too. I think they had a little wake-up call this past weekend against Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Duke coming off literally the perfect game. Like I don't know if you can play much better than that. I think that momentum slows down a little bit too.
Yeah.
Over unders 133.5.
Over.
I'd probably take that over. Because I mean, if you're gonna take Houston 6 points, that's gonna be pretty high score.
Correct. So that is our picks for each of the Sweet 16 matchups. You get Sweet 16 Thursday, Friday, Elite 8, Saturday, Sunday, similar to last weekend, which I'm sure everybody listening knows because you watch sports, which is probably why you're listening to this podcast. We'll recap that next week, obviously, but we'll make some bets and we'll throw them on social media. So be sure to let us know if you're going to tail or fade it.
And I hit a pretty big lay this past weekend, so everybody may want to tail for the foreseeable future.
I'm going to fade Trevor then. Y'all have fun.
I lost quite a bit of money this weekend, so surely.
I missed a 6-7 leg parlay that would have won me $1,000 by one leg, and I don't even want to talk about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, to lead it off, one of the first bad beats that I had was Houston and Longwood. I had Houston to cover 19.5, or Longwood to cover 19.5, and that Houston beat them by 20. So
yeah,
and I had probably 2 or 3 of those over this past weekend.
I hate those big spreads like that because I never know what's going to happen. Like the NFL, I'm a little bit different on. Like if it's like a 10 to 14 point spread, I'm usually like, okay, that's a lot of points that can be made up. But like with basketball, if they're like a 19.5 point favorite, I'm like, dude, I don't have a clue. Like they could come out and miss like Kentucky was an 11 point favorite and they came out and shit the bed and they win. Like, it's tough for those sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you didn't go to the Houston Longwood game for your first NCAA tournament experience. Yeah. That would have been bad. That would have been all-time bad.
I think you told him to.
You did.
I did.
Yeah. And you called
I think I said with caution.
I think you called me a bitch for not going.
Yes.
I did do that. I did say NCAA tournament games are electric. The atmosphere is awesome. but you're going to see a 1 in a 16 seed play.
So the potential was there.
The potential to see a cool upset's there, but I don't know if the atmosphere would have been there.
No, dude, I figured that when tickets were $11 for me to get in. Like when I looked Friday morning on Game Time, I could have got in for $11 at the door. I got down to Tennessee, and for those who don't know, I had to work in Tennessee this weekend. Texted a group chat and said, "Should I go to an NCAA tournament game?" And I got a 50-50 response. But when I got there, I looked and I was like, "Oh, it cost me a total of $28 to get into this game." And that's when I thought to myself, if it's $28, that means there's not a lot of people going to this.
No.
Yeah, I went to see Murray State, St. Peter's, Tennessee, Michigan in the round of 32 2 years ago, and I think it ran me – we sat lower bowl. I think it ran me $250 a ticket.
No.
Yeah, no.
And then if Kentucky was supposed to be in that game, we weren't going. I couldn't afford that.
No. So, speaking of Kentucky, we've had some drama unfold since Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Kentucky gets beat by Oakland. Gokley comes out and what, he hit 10 threes?
Yeah.
I think it was 10 threes.
Or a 30-piece.
Had a 30 bomb on Kentucky. They lose first round yet again. And you go into Friday night, and Kentucky fans are obviously pissed. Don't know if they want they don't want Cal back the next year. They say it's his fault.
I don't think anybody Friday morning. I don't think there was one single person other than John Calipari that wanted John Calipari to coach Kentucky.
Kentucky fans are a different breed. Like I was uncomfortable for you guys.
So my initial reaction was let him go. I'm done. Mm-hmm. And then Brian, I think I talked to you Friday or Saturday.
We talked to each other Friday.
Yeah, I had come down from that. I had used some rationale, and I was brought back to my senses that I wasn't ready for Cal to go.
Correct. And if anybody was wondering that listens why we didn't have a episode last Friday like we originally thought we would, that would be why, because I was not in the right headspace to be able to record a podcast about basketball. I didn't even want to look at a basketball. I didn't want to watch anything the next day. That night I was tired of it. I told my wife to take down all the stuff behind me, take all my jerseys, take all my memorabilia and hats and throw them outside and just let somebody else have them.
Yeah. My wife told her mom that I made it seem like it was her fault that they lost. So
Chloe told me, she basically just said, I'm just not going to talk to you. I said, let's just do that because I can't talk right now. I can't do that. So
I just disassociated myself from my family and laid in the floor.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't on the fire Cal train. I understand that things need to change and one day he's going to leave. But my question to everybody that's been saying that to me is, who do you hire? You want to hire Scott Drew? He hasn't won anything really. You want to hire Nate?
Well, see, initially, that was my first when I'm like, all right, fire him. But I think I even told you, as long as if you can get one of three people, which was Scott Drews, Kevin Sampson, and Dan Hurley, of course. If those are your three that you can get, then do away with it. Do away with them. Right. But if you can't get any of those three, then I don't want to see it happen.
Right. I was on the Brad Stevens, Dan Hurley, then maybe Jay Wright. I don't love that idea. I don't really know how much you actually improve, but those are the ones I would consider. But I've always kind of been like, why are y'all wanting to fire him? Like, you guys are Kentucky fans are really quick to judge. Like, I'm not.
Kentucky fans, in my opinion, think that they are, and this isn't. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the state of Kentucky fans, especially the older ones who've been through Rupp, who have been through Pitino, who went through the Billy Gillispie era and into Cal. Kentucky fans think that Kentucky is entitled to a title, that it should be ours every single year, and that's what we're going to do, or it's not good enough. Basketball itself has changed so much since even when I went to college to play. It has changed more in that 10-year time span than it ever has over the 30 years before that.
Yeah, I think the problem with Kentucky's fans and John Calipari is, one, the talent that he's had.
Right.
The amount of talent he's had, the amount of talent that he talks about, that he's bringing on, what we've seen players go do in the NBA, none of that has shown
to a title.
Yeah, none of that's shown. And you get excited for a year, this upcoming class, it's the next best thing, and then that we have no results.
I agree, and I will say I'm not. I know I sound like I'm defending him to the end, but I kind of am. His last let's go from the 2020 team that got canceled because of COVID was a favorite to win the title that year. The next 2 years after that, he said himself afterwards, he's like, we weren't very good.
Yeah,
you just weren't, and that was shown because you lose Jay Lucas, you lose Welch, or Rubio, whatever his name is. You lose those people. You lose Kenny Payne, and he doesn't have the same coaching staff he did. And Cal's focus is always the players. It's always individual development, and the other guys were the lead between the administration and him, the lead between the fans and him, the lead between the media and him, and he doesn't have that anymore, and people hate him because of it.
Yeah.
That's where I say, and I put out a tweet, I said, if Cal comes back, he's got to make an assistant coach change. And it should be like Duke. And I hate to compare ourselves to Duke, but it should be like Duke, where they bring in somebody behind him that's younger, can learn the recruiting system that he has. And that's everybody's bitched me out for saying system. It's not the play system. It's not how he coaches. It's the recruiting, because Cal is a great recruiter. If that guy can learn that and already know how to play an offensive-minded style of basketball, you don't lose much over that 1 to 2 year transition period.
Yeah.
Because if he's there when you're getting the class of 2027, 2028, hell, even 2026, those guys already know him and they're there. And if you move on from him, like, hey, we're hiring the guy that's right beside him, we're good to go.
Right.
And you don't lose as many people. So, Davis, I think you're right. I think their first call, which would have been Mitch Barnhart's call, and I don't even know if I trusted him to do it, would have been to Jay Wright and Brad Stevens. And I think they both would have said no. I think that Jay Wright's like, no, I enjoy my media presence. Brad Stevens, isn't he like the VP of basketball operations for the Celtics?
He might not have answered the phone. I
he
don't
think
he
had that call.
But I think Brad Stevens is like the perfect basketball mind. Like, and it's shown through college, it's shown through the NBA, and now he's VP of player personnel.
Yeah.
And he's just a true basketball mind. But like you said, Davis, I don't think he picks up the phone.
No.
Because no one wants that job.
No. Because I'll get to that one in a second. Because I've thought about this for a week now, and I've got a lot of shit for it. But
I won't say no one takes or no one wants the job, but I'll say the fans make it extremely difficult.
This is is probably the hardest job in college basketball. Yeah. And Cal he handled it well for a while. He's not handling it great now. And that was also my tweet. He needs to be better about that. I know he hates KSR. Hell, half the state hates KSR and half of them love it.
Yeah. But they do have one of the biggest following base. You don't even have to mend it. You have to acknowledge it. I think he has to acknowledge that has literally the biggest following base in the state of Kentucky.
Right.
And a lot of people go there, although they may not like Matt Jones or the whole program.
Right.
But they still go there for information, or that's your source of information.
You should have a working relationship with them.
Yeah.
Nobody says it has to be personal.
Yeah. I agree.
Back to the coaching. I think if Brad Stevens, Jay Wright say no, I think you go to Dan Hurley, which why the hell would he leave? You can give him as many zeros as you want to. He's not going to leave.
They're about to build a statue of Dan Hurley.
Yeah. So. I mean, they're going to put him on a wall. I mean, Scott Drew and Nate Oates, do you get any better is my question. Do you get better, or do we go through a Billy Gillespie area where they can't handle the pressure? Because it's a lot of pressure.
See, I don't think that happens. Maybe Nate Oates, but
he also just signed a contract which you had to buy out.
He just signed an extension,
And
Scott Drew, I think you may lose a little bit, but you're picking up that defensive mind.
Right. Which to that point, Cal has that defensive mind, because look at the team that won the national championship. They weren't an offensive powerhouse.
No.
They defended and they locked your ass down until you coughed the ball up and they went and scored.
Yeah.
That's what he needs to get back to. There's a guy right now in the portal. I think he's from Seton Hall. It might be St. John, somewhere like that. and he's like the second overall shot blocker in the nation behind Dudu.
Yeah.
And he's a true rim protector. He's like he had an Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns. He's a true rim protector that he needs. And I think if he can get back to that, and this brings me to my next point, is who's on the team next year. I think Reed comes back, and I've been saying it for 2 months now. I think Reed is back next year.
Oh, yeah. I think his ties to Kentucky, I think he's got a solid family behind him that will encourage him to, at least do these 2 years. So you have some sort of backbone and do the rest when you get to the NBA, but at least knock out these 2 years, come back, develop a little bit more, because I can guarantee his draft stock dropped.
Yeah. I'm sure he can be honest about it. He was crying after the game, which he didn't play good, and I understand that. But he didn't show up Thursday night.
No. You have a player playing that well, and that Gokul kid, that's a lot to ask of a freshman. I mean, you had, Rob hit a couple big shots, but
if it wasn't for Reeves and Trey, we get blown out by 20.
Yeah.
And we talked about
to add to that, if it wasn't for Oakland shooting awful from the free throw line, it's not even a close game. No. They kept Kentucky in it. But on the age thing, like, big part of it is, and I'm not saying get older and all that, but like the game's changed so much. Like the guys they played against are literally my age. I've been out of college for 3 years. They're playing 24, 25-year-olds. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Like that.
Well, you've got those guys that had those. I mean, everything that you can go get now. You can academic red shirt, medical red shirt. Some of these players still have these an additional year of eligibility. So, I mean, you're getting 23, 24-year-olds playing against
kids.
Yeah, playing against.
Think about it like this, Davis. You're 18 years old. You go to Kentucky. Think about how we looked at 18-year-olds playing basketball. We thought we were big, but we weren't. We thought we were good, but we weren't that good. And you go play a kid that's been playing basketball for 5 years, been in the gym every single day, he's been in the weight room every single day. He's bigger, faster, stronger, can shoot better than you. I mean, I couldn't imagine what it would be like. Because, like, it'd be like me. If I played 4 years of college and got to my fourth year and played my senior year of high school stuff, I'd beat myself 11-0, no problem. I mean, it wouldn't even be a game. So I think he does that. I think he realizes that. I think he started to try a couple years ago with Severe and Fredericks and all of them, trying to bring them in, and he just didn't get the right people.
Yeah.
He needs a Vince Morrow on his side who goes and gets all those good recruits that are homegrown and like small.
But I think if you can keep two of the three bigs, what's the class look like next year? As far as you got you got Cyril Santos Ciro.
I mean, he's good, but he can't hit an open. But he can't just hit. I mean, he's a layup and he's a rim protector, boards, and layup guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he is.
Yeah. So I think if you can get Big Z back, and I'd say I'd like to see Hugo back, because Hugo progressed quite a bit.
But you got Jordan Burks coming too, I think.
Jordan Burks coming back?
Well, I was under the impression he was coming back before all this. I would say that he probably doesn't if he brings Big Z back.
Yeah. But then I think if you keep those, you've got Adu Thiero. He'll probably stay, depending on what transpires.
Jaden Quaintance is coming in too. I think he's better than Tomoto.
If I'm Kentucky, I think I'm most scared of getting rid of Cal and then Cal going an hour down the street to Louisville and then taking all the players and then kicking your ass every single year for the next 5.
Yeah.
I think that'd be my biggest fear.
Right. I mean, that would happen. They all thought it would be Michigan, and then Dusty May gets hired there. But Louisville would have been Louisville or Vandy was where I would assume he would go. And I think when Vandy hired their coach, I think they had already talked to Mitch, and they knew that he was coming back.
Yeah.
Boogie Fland is the one I'm very excited about next year at point guard.
Yeah,
Boogie.
I am too. Boogie,
let's go.
Yeah,
yep.
See,
I know you love good names.
That's what you need, is you need a Boogie in there.
Yeah,
to make the difference. But I initially, going back to where the initial conversation started, I wanted him gone. I would only have liked to see 2 or 3 guys maybe in the role, but do they even want the job? But then I finally came to my senses, and I'm fine to have him back. I'll still root proudly, and I hate the people that are, tweeting or whatever and saying I won't watch another game, I won't support Kentucky. I mean, why wish on someone's downfall, really?
Yeah.
Especially if
You
it's a
shouldn't
team
want
that
them to
you've
be good.
supported. Yeah.
And I get it. You shouldn't blindly trust that he's going to change and blindly trust that we're going to be better next year, but you should still be there to support these kids that come in and are going to make money for the university, and they're going to make the university stand out. So
one thing that I did like out of that game was Calipari put some accountability on the players and said we had some that did not play like they should.
You know who didn't like that?
Who's that?
Kentucky fans.
Oh.
It was all Cal's fault, and he should have never blamed the players. And
they played so bad.
Yeah,
they couldn't hit shit.
But the thing is Cal has always taken the blame. Mm-hmm. He's been this one was on me. Mm-hmm. I should have coached them better. This time he's like, no, we had the plan.
Everybody who watched that game can clearly see after I think it was the second media timeout after he had hit like 4 in a row. He made a change. He said, bump them through the screens, bump them through the double down screen, and keep your hands high when you're hedging and helping on the outside. They also threw a junk box and 1 at him, and he missed 3 in a row. Yeah. He made some sort of change. The only thing I wish he would have changed is say shoot them out of the zone instead of – because Gokley's interview with PMT this week, I think, was it Monday? It was recorded over the weekend, obviously, but – he even said, dude, the first 4 minutes of the game, they were attacking our zone. They were getting shots down low, and they were doing what they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So that's what they should have done because he knew they weren't big inside.
Well, even the run they started making, I'm pretty sure me and Trevor were saying in the group, you just attack the rim. You got in foul trouble. You're scoring down low. Quit shooting all these damn threes. They're not going in. That's okay. No. Yeah. It's okay. You got to get some momentum going. You can't.
But see, that was one of my problems with Cal. Is he kind of backed off? It seemed like that the next 2, 3, 4 minutes he backed off of the drive.
Well, I think the problem was that you had Reed missed a 15-footer. You missed, I think, 3 layups in a row, and then we just got lucky that we stopped him on those 3 possessions, and then we come down and we finally get a layup made, and I think he was like, well, what the hell are we going to hit if we're not hitting layups and bunnies?
I knew it was ball game when Justin Edwards missed that dunk.
Tough.
That was embarrassing.
That's tough.
Yeah. I knew then it was over.
Yeah, I've got to stop putting $100 on Kentucky whenever they're losing in the second half. That's back-to-back games. I lost $100 within literally, and it hurts. It's literally within 10 minutes. You're like, oh, well, that's 100.
Yeah,
100 gone. Last thing I will say on the Kentucky situation is I've seen people on Twitter bitching and moaning that nobody from the Kentucky staff nor Cal was at the Sweet 16 Final Four and championship game for Kentucky State boys high school tournament. I agree with the move because you're telling me if Cal walks in that gym to watch Travis Perry and the other kid play, that the focus doesn't immediately shift to him and nobody starts watching the game. The tournament is about the kids that are playing in it. That's a lifelong, I wouldn't say lifelong dream, but that's a dream of every high school basketball player is to say, I'm going to make it to the Sweet 16 at Rupp Arena.
Yeah, and especially Lyon County.
Yeah. They've got 277 kids in the school.
A school that can't even have a football team.
Right.
Makes it to that big of a stage. Why take anything away from them?
I think he did the right thing by saying, nobody go. We will talk. I mean, he talked to Travis after the game, he said. He talked to his dad. Mm-hmm. I agree with not going because as soon as he walks in that gym, it's all backwoods Kentucky fans that are going to be yelling, spitting dip spit out of their mouth and ready to rock and roll with him. And he can't be there. Like, you can't tell me that wasn't the right move.
I really think those Kentucky fans have some of the lowest IQs in our nation. I really question some of the Kentucky fans in this state.
But they're diehard, man. They're diehard.
They've had camo Kentucky hats since they were fucking 7.
Yeah, diehard idiots.
So, but at the end of the day, Cal's back. We've got another squad coming in this year. He said he's going to do a lot of reflection. He said he's going to do, he's going to attempt to make things right. Is what it sounds like. This team next year needs your support. They need our support. Go out and do it. If you're not a Kentucky fan, go support your team like you're supposed to. But we will see. I mean, we'll see. We'll be able to wrap back to this in November and see how we feel. But Cal's the coach. Like it or don't like it, deal with it or shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Don't get on Facebook. I'm not watching John Calipari in Kentucky anymore until he's gone. Nah, I don't give a shit, buddy. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody cares. That's not going to affect John Calipari nor that basketball team.
No. So, all right. Quickly, just because I want to go over this because I think this picture's kind of funny. The NFL head coach and or the owners meeting came, and we got to see. Is this the right one? This is the head coach's picture. I hope everybody can see that. Let me see if I can zoom in. No, I can't zoom in. Oh, okay, I can zoom in. Where's it at? We lost it. Good job, Davis.
Wait, what?
There we go.
That didn't zoom in on the picture, brother.
I know it's just not doing it, is it? So if you can see,
I have to pull it up on my computer. Can't see shit.
Can I? Is there a chat? Oh, I can share it. And can I share it in comments? Oh no. Anyway, we used to have as the Titans one of the, as my wife says, sexiest, biggest men in the NFL that she liked. The only reason she watched Titans games was the Mike Vrabel. I'm excited about what the Titans are doing. I'm excited about the free agent signings. I'm excited for this draft. But Brian Callahan, my guy, we got to get you some drip at some point. We have got to. If you're looking at the far right of the picture, he's one, two, three, four, fifth over to the left. We got to get him some drip, man. We got to get him some like Jordan 1 lows that are Titans colors. Like, we got to do that.
Yeah.
Where's he at? Where'd you say he was?
If you're looking at the front row and looking all the way to the right, he'll be fourth to the left, right beside the guy in the black jacket sitting down.
Oh, so the most basic looking white guy kind of looks like Joe Flacco from a distance.
Yeah, that guy. We got to get you some drip. So if you need that, hit me up and we'll take care of that, Brian. I promise.
Jared Mayo looks like he got that shirt from the Dollar General.
Yeah. Mike McDaniels is dripping, though, on the end.
He's always saucy.
Yeah.
You're in Miami. What can you really do?
Man, if I was in Miami, I'd be dripped out. I ain't gonna lie.
And then
let's see who else we got.
Dan Campbell looks just like the man. He looks like he's just ready to go fuck shit up.
He looks like an angry dad, a military dad.
It kind of looks like that. Who was South Carolina and Kansas State? Frank, what's his name?
I don't know. You didn't finish your sentence.
Frank, he's the coach from Frank. Let me see if this works.
Kaminsky?
Frank Martin from South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Like just a menacing dude that you just don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
Who'd you say that looks like?
Frank Martin.
Frank Martin.
Frank Martin looks like a football guy.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a football guy. And then
you got Brian One Ball over there looking like
No, look at those two beautiful bald heads. My guy, Dan Quinn, Brian Dayball. Hey.
Shortest ones of the group. That's crazy. And Mike McDaniel's in there.
Oh, and Robert Saleh. Beautiful bald heads. We shine in
that. If you go to the far left, standing in the back row, it's the third guy to the right, next to the guy in the white dress shirt.
Kyle Shanahan?
Kyle Shanahan?
Why does he look like a goofball?
He kind of is. You see Mike looks just like him.
Right.
Yeah, he looks just like his dad.
That's the Vikings head coach. What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Is it O'Connell? Something
like that. Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell.
Todd Bowles looks like I live in Tampa and I have no problems, baby. He's the only one wearing a jacket, like an actual jacket, not a sport coat, because he's like, it's kind of chilly down here because I live here year round, you know.
John Harbaugh looks like he's sitting in church. Jim Harbaugh looks like he's Jim Carrey.
Why the hell do they have to sit next to each other?
Come on, they're brothers.
I know, but why you got to sit next to each other?
Man, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Oh, Jesus.
You can see the diabetes in Andy Reid's legs.
I wonder who could eat more cheeseburgers, Andy Reid or DJ Burns?
Oh, dude.
Oh, Andy Reid.
Big Red.
Wait, what? I do see Andy Reid. He's there on vacation. He's just like, I'm not. It's like a conference that you attend for your company. He's like, I'm not attending any of these meetings.
No.
I'm going to the golf course and the beach.
Yeah.
Who's the guy on the far right sitting down? White polo.
That is, I believe.
Is that Kevin Stefanski?
No, Kevin Stefanski is the one with his shoulders all up.
Is that Mike McDonald?
On the left.
I think it's Mike McDonald, yeah. He's kind of big, for real.
I wouldn't fight him.
I would.
Oh, we know you. Here we go. And then I've got the GM picture pulled up here.
Who do you guys think has the most beautiful GM?
The Titans.
No, it's definitely the Commanders. Adam Peters is hot as shit.
Where's he at?
Oh, now I got to find a new picture.
Well, while you're looking for
you got it pulled up.
I've got it pulled up on the stream.
You know, we're still looking at coaches.
Hold on. Present. Share screen. Let me see if this one zooms in on the picture. It does not. It does not. Who? This dude over here to the left has gotten some sun.
He needs to put a shirt collar in his jacket.
Well, here's the thing, Trevor. As a bald man, do you put sunscreen on the top of that thing or what?
I do, or this thing will get crisp.
Well, his did. He looked like he left it on the burner a little too long. Wait, is this the coach's picture again? No. Why is Sean Payton in this picture?
That's a coach's picture.
Is this the coach's picture?
Yeah, because there's Andy Reid.
Is this last year's? Oh, I did.
There's the diabetes knees.
Let me see if I could find it.
I haven't seen a GM picture.
I saw.
Man, it's probably easier to find it on Twitter.
I think that's where I found it. Oh, dude, here's one on Twitter, but you can't. I mean, if look at this. This is so bad. Why do they take it from the side?
All right, where's my man Adam Peters?
That's a dude. The dude in the middle right here is a hoss.
That's a unit.
That's a big Trevor. He's whooping you, and he's got a bald head. It's a battle of bald heads.
He built like a fridge.
That's crazy. Rand Carthon down here looking great. Rand, we need you to get your drippiness. Give a little bit to Brian Callahan, please. Like just give him a tad bit, and he'll be fine. Where is Adam Peters?
I don't know.
Is it this dude right here?
No, he's better looking than that.
This dude in the blue shirt?
He's better looking than him.
Besides Rand, that's the best looking dude here.
Maybe that's last year though.
I'm trying to find Mr. Hortz in there.
Let me see when this.
I can't see him.
Oh, this is last year's. Damn. All right, well, we can't find it. Either way, coach's picture, great.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. So, all right, fellas. Weekend picks, we will do. We will get those out tomorrow morning to you for Sweet 16 games, and then we'll do one Saturday morning for Elite 8 games for the weekend. Please let us know if you're tailing or if you're fading them. We also need Friday After Dark submissions, so get those to us via email, justbelowa@gmail.com, or DM them or tweet them to us at JBA Pod, one of those two.
So are we officially back on normal schedule next week?
We will be on normal schedule. Sorry for the weirdness, but that's March Madness, baby. It's madness.
We adjust to the madness.
We adjust to what our viewers need to hear, and this is going to go out before Sweet 16, so it's going to be awesome. Anything else, guys?
Week 3, no abs. The diet was going good until today. You know, I've been away on business because that makes me sound important, but no, really, I've just been busy and I didn't feel like driving 2 hours back home. So I stayed with my parents. That was 20 minutes away from where I was working, and free lunch was provided.
What'd you have?
I had some barbecue from Bond's Corner Barbecue with some potato salad and
that
baked
definitely
beans.
doesn't fit in the diet.
I'll be the mediator here. You got to have a cheat meal every once in a while, or you just lose it.
Well, other than that, it's been grilled chicken salad. So
there you go.
We're good. We're down like 4 pounds right now. You know, working out's been hard lately because I've been away on business, but I've been getting it in. I'm getting it in.
Well, keep it up, or you got a milk mile coming your way.
I'm starting to get a little worried. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Our Way Good bars should be here by next week, so we can do a little online taste test. We appreciate you all listening. We appreciate you all tuning in on this crazy schedule. I know it's been 2 Thursdays in a row that we've came at you, but next week will be Friday. Again, this episode is sponsored by Way Good. Dave's is still trying to hit that 6-pack, baby, as you can hear it. So go grab you a Way Good bar after your workout, a midnight snack, whatever you need to get you through the day to get that protein. We will see you next week on Friday. As always, thanks for listening. Peace.
Let's end up.